in the old shed. It really does feel like a shed after being over there. Everything's so much bigger. They've got so much space. The games rooms are so much bigger. But it is nice to be back in my little humble abode. Back in London, my little collection. It's cool. But guys, I had a fantastic time. Absolutely unbelievable. Where do I start? So many things to say, talk about. I've got a game room tour with John on here to show you. I've got obviously the Sky Skipper reveal. If you haven't seen it already, I'm sure you have. Which I didn't film obviously because I was so busy, but I've got my friend Daniel Copeland to video it. But if you really want to see an in-depth video of the Sky Skipper reveal, you have to go to John's Arcade. He documented the whole thing, did a fantastic job of filming us and the reveal, Billy Mitchell, Walter Day. It was just absolutely brilliant. I'll put a link in this video below. But anyway, this is my side of the story. So I landed in the US. Okay, first thing I did was have a hamburger, great big hamburger. And then I had an 8-hour wait, which was just mad. Just sitting around watching people for 8 hours is really, really boring. And then when I finally got onto this plane, we got delayed again because they couldn't fix the fire extinguisher to the clip. So I had to go and get a new clip. And then I had to sit next to this US Marshal who's absolutely massive. Honestly, huge guy. Really, really nice. He was asking me where I was from and stuff, and asking what I was doing here, and you could see I was really tired because I hadn't slept at all for the whole journey. You just can't sleep on those planes. And he said, you know what, I'll go and sit up the front, because I was like that, and he's massive, great big guy with his US Marshal badge, and those guys are at the top, you know, you don't mess with them. And I think it's because it's one of those flights where they actually have army and cadets or whatever on. It's like a US, I don't know, military aircraft as well. They all get on there. So there was a few army guys on there as well. But yeah, it was just super cool. And then we landed in Louisville, where I met Whitney, picked me up from the airport, and then I went and stayed at his house for a whole week before we drove to Atlanta, and they looked after me. Whitney, Jackie, Grace and the dogs. Honestly, I can't thank you enough. It was absolutely unbelievable. I had a time of my life at your place. They took me to restaurants. The food portions took a while to get used to. I just thought, I'm going to come back twice the size, honestly. We went to this one place, I ordered fish and chips, and I got a plate of 2 slices of bread with chips on top, 2 large pieces of cod on top of that, and then 2 hush puppies. I can't remember what's inside them, but and then a massive stack of onion rings about this high. It was just incredible. The full food portions, madness. It was just so cool though. We went to the Slugger Museum where they make the baseball bats, the famous baseball bats, and we can actually get one of those made up with Sky Skipper written on it, which is a nice memento, which I'm going to hang on the wall here, which would be cool. We went to the Colonel's restaurant, his wife's restaurant, where they make the Kentucky Fried Chicken. That was cool. Just a lovely place, and lovely people. Culture's very similar to here, but obviously the whole sort of culture around guns sort of threw me out a little bit. Now we get in the car before we go to Atlanta, and Whitney's wife says, "Are we going to take a pistol today, darling?" It's like, what? You're going to need a pistol to a games convention? Just threw me right out, honestly. But I did do some retro stores over there. One day we went round about 3 or 4 retro shops. A bit like CEX really. They had a lot of modern stuff in there and they had a lot of retro stuff, but a lot more retro than you would see in CEX over here in the UK. So I did pick up some good bargains, some nice SNES games, which I'll show you briefly, but I want to save that for the SNES videos, obviously. So we had a fantastic time, and then obviously we drove down to Atlanta for the Sky Skipper reveal, which you'll see on this video, and met loads of other people that watch this channel, like Mike's Arcade and Daniel Copeland, and another guy I met, CaptNRetro, who was really cool. I'm going to thank you a bit later in the video. Just an amazing time. So what you're going to see now in this video, guys, is a walk around with John. We're going to do a walk around the whole arcade, and then we'll have a little break, and then I'll show you the reveal, and then we'll do pickups. So there's so much to talk about and see. So let's get straight into it with the old walk around with John. Absolutely brilliant. Right, John?
Yeah.
John's from John's Arcade. How you doing, mate?
What's up, Alex?
Yeah, good.
You like this game?
Yeah, it's alright. I've got a copy on the Super Nintendo. It's alright.
Oh, yeah, Super Nintendo.
Do you like it?
No.
No?
The cabinet's kind of cool,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
How about the Fix and Felix? Would you ever make one of these?
No, I don't like it at all. Don't like the game.
Yeah.
At all.
The
It's
game.
a bit like Wrecking Crew on the version.
Yeah. It just keeps doing the same thing over and over. Yeah.
No, I don't like it at all.
It looks cool with the CRT.
It's got CRT, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like it?
No.
No.
For a split second, I wanted to make one, and then I changed my mind quick.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
No, I've got
As a dedicated.
Yeah.
I like that cabinet.
That's nice, yeah.
Ice cold beer. Do you have those in the UK?
Yeah, we've got my friend Roger's got one. I really like it.
Oh, same
Yeah,
cabinet?
Yeah, same cabinet. You've got one as well in the arcade.
I do.
haven't you?
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah.
It's cool. Zybots.
I love this game.
Oh, you do?
I had it on the Atari Lynx.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's really, really
So,
good.
I don't think I really played this game. It's a 3D corridor,
Yeah, one of the first to do that, actually.
and you have to turn the camera with this,
Yeah,
right?
I love it.
Crystal Castles.
Never got my head round that.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
This is okay. It's like Akari Warriors. It was okay.
Is that like Midnight Resistance?
Oh, I don't know.
I think
It's like Akari Warriors.
Yeah.
Right? Is that
rotary sticks.
I used to play that as a kid.
I love this game.
Atari 2600, right? I used to play that.
Beautiful cabinet, lovely side art.
I would get this game.
Yeah.
Asteroids classic.
Tetris.
I love Atari Tetris. I think it's
Yeah.
really good. Yeah.
Mappy. This is quite a rare cabinet.
Big topper.
We got one of these in the UK.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Really unusual. Look at
Yeah.
the artwork on this, guys. Lovely control panel.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Love the characters, but I think the game's a little bit average. I don't know.
Yeah, the game. I like the game actually.
Do you?
Yeah. I mean, Dig
Dig
Dug's
Dug.
great. I love Dig Dug.
Yeah.
I would never own one though. It's very repetitious.
Do you prefer this over Mr. Do?
Yes,
They're quite
I do.
similar, aren't they?
I do. I like this better. I think.
Yeah.
Frogger.
Frogger's a classic.
Yep.
You gotta have a Frogger. You
Get
gotta have a
them
Gallagher.
Pac-Man.
No, I'm never into Pac-Man.
No.
Can't stand
Pac-Man's
Pac-Man.
good. How can you not like
No, I
Pac-Man?
just don't, man.
Tempest.
Tempest is a beautiful cabinet. Again, these go for a lot of money in the UK.
Yeah. What is it? What does that cost? Like 50 quid?
1,500 quid.
1,500?
Yeah.
I don't know how much that is US dollars.
Donkey Kong, that's your favourite game.
Yeah.
Do you prefer that over Junior?
I do. Yeah.
You do?
For sure. How about you?
Well, it's funny, I prefer Junior.
Oh, you
I'm
do?
better at Junior than you are at Donkey Kong.
Oh, is
You're
that
better
right?
at Donkey Kong. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never gotten 100,000 on Junior. I can't do it.
Yeah.
So what else is over here?
Let's have a look.
This game I used to play on the 2600 a lot.
Wizard of War.
I love this game.
Yeah.
I
Has
actually,
it got Simpsons speech in it? You know?
I think it does. I haven't played this in so long.
It
Yeah.
does, yeah.
It's like Gorf.
Yeah, it's just like Gorf.
This is Turbo Outrun.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's got this little button here.
Yeah.
So
And then we're back. This is quite a rare cabinet. Escape from the Planet of the Robot Monsters, which is one of the first isometric type games.
yeah.
I quite like it. But
You
I
do
don't
like it?
I do. But
I don't
think
know
it's more
enough
of a
about it.
console type game than an arcade
Yeah, I can see that. Now this here, I'm not sure what this is. Is this the original Wood Blaster cabinet?
game. Yeah. Well, we've got one of these in England with like, it's a what they call it, the Dura mode.
The Duramo, the plastic
the
one.
plastic one, which
Yeah.
is really rare, fetches quite a lot of money. But I don't think the game's all that, to be honest with you.
It's cool. It's like a 3D
Yeah.
Robotron type world game. Look how great that looks.
Yeah, it's
That's pretty cool. Big sprites. Kangaroo. I like this game.
Do you? Tell us about the game then, John. What do you like about it?
The controls are horrible. Right?
Yeah,
But I like the characters.
Yeah.
I like the cabinet.
yeah.
And the thing is, like, I would like to own one so I can get good at the controls. Because it's really, like, you press up to jump and it's real sloppy and
Yeah.
all the sprites are flickering.
Yeah. I've never really got into it.
Really?
No.
I think it's cool.
Yeah.
And I just love the
The
artwork.
artwork's cool. Yeah.
Little monkey there. I like happy stuff. That's happy.
It's happy.
Yeah.
This should have been Nintendo game.
I know, right? Galaxian,
Galaxian.
classic.
Bump and jump. I love bump and jump.
Yeah, I do too.
I really do.
But
like
I
this.
can't play it anymore. It's too. I don't have the patience for it.
Really?
When I was a kid, though, when I played this, like,
On the NES?
no, I played it at a pizza, Showbiz Pizza. Did you have that in UK?
No.
Chuck E. Cheese?
No, we didn't.
Like, when you jump and the car gets big,
Yeah.
when I was a kid, that blew my mind.
Oh, really?
Like, because the sprite got big and it goes down. Yeah.
I love the cabinet as well. It's got
Yeah,
fantastic
great,
artwork.
great cabinet.
Yeah, and down the bottom here, artwork
Yeah,
goes all the way down
it's
here.
badass.
I can imagine they got kicked in a lot.
Yeah, it did. Right.
Yeah, it's got a lovely control panel. I think the game's fantastic. But we would have played this in a normal standard jammer cab.
Oh, you would have.
We wouldn't have had this
Well, I think this is the US only because the game was made by Data East.
Right,
It was a
okay.
Deco version too,
Yeah.
right, for the rest of the world.
Vanguard, is that a good game? I don't know much about this.
I like that game a lot. I used to play that on the 2600 as well. What's cool about this game is the four-way firing.
Okay.
You got 4 buttons, up, down, left, and right is how you fire.
Right.
It could have been 2 joysticks. That could have been better, right?
Yeah, I think so.
But that was a pretty great
Quite an
game.
early game. Now this is quite unusual. This is a play choice 10 in a tabletop,
Right.
which is really rare.
It is. And look at these little joysticks.
Which I don't like them at all.
You don't.
No,
I don't like these either.
I can imagine they break quite easily.
Right, and I did a video earlier, and we were talking about. I remember joysticks like this, like on the Apple
Yeah.
or the IBM,
Yeah.
where they had the little slides,
Yeah.
so you could center them. It just reminds me of that.
It's got a nice screen on there though. So these games on here would have been on a timer, right? You put your money in. You
That's how.
only get
Yeah,
so much time.
the play choice right here. See that?
Yeah.
That's the timer,
Oh, okay.
and it's basically an NES with a timer.
Right.
The games are 1-to-1,
Exactly.
whereas the verses they're a little different.
Right. Interesting.
Someone's got a defender here all wrapped
Defender.
up. Now
No.
this game, I actually like this game.
Do you?
Yeah,
Tell us about it.
well, Narc is it's a Williams game. I think Eugene Jarvis, who did Robotron, did this.
Oh, right.
I'm not positive.
Looks quite a violent game, is it?
Well, you're trying to stop the drug guys, the guys that are selling drugs. So and then like needles drop and cocaine and stuff. Yeah, like look at they're dropping bags of cocaine.
That's quite controversial for a video game.
Well,
But it's nasty.
no, say no to drugs.
Oh, okay.
You're stopping the drugs by killing them. This game's cool, man.
That is cool.
Yeah. Here's
we've got
another one.
here.
This
We've
one
got
looks
two here.
it looks nicer.
Yeah. And then we're back here again.
Yeah, and then the rest is pinball.
Are you gonna ever go on the old dance machine later?
No, probably not. There's another Primal Rage there.
Okay.
NBA Jam.
That's a good game.
Yeah.
That was a good N64 game, actually.
It was, yeah.
Really, really
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah,
Almost arcade perfect.
I'm trying to remember if I played it. I seem to remember I did.
What do you think of Nintendo's Cruising USA?
This was the great 64 game.
Yeah.
I played this and then also San Francisco Rush or whatever, or one of those.
Yeah.
One where the car flies through the air. And,
Yeah, have you seen the new one, Cruising Burst? The new, brand new arcade machine?
yeah,
by
when I went to
Namco?
Raw Thrills makes it.
Nice Namco, it's a Nintendo.
Oh.
It's called Cruising Burst.
Isn't that the game that I saw when I went to Raw Thrills?
You might have done.
Okay, yeah.
Pretty cool.
It's sick.
Yeah.
But I used to love this game, and it was so good on the 64. I used to play it like crazy. We just bought 2 Cruising Exoticas.
Did you?
Yeah, the sit down
You
one.
arcade?
Yeah. And I like this game too. I think this game's better than like Sprint.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this game.
Yeah.
And I was more into this kind of stuff. Like I had like RC trucks and remote control. So that was more like me. Like it's like you're controlling a remote control car, you know? I love this game. These games break though all the time. I think they got a
They get
suicide.
more hammering, don't they?
Yeah, but there's like a suicide, the board suicide. There's something about them.
Street Fighter, you got one of these in the basement, haven't you?
Yeah, well, it's in the bar now,
Yeah,
but I had that
popular.
same cabinet.
Yeah.
And then Mortal Kombat 3, and then over here is 2 and 1.
2 and 1, yeah. Well, you got to play 2. Is that one got the blood in the first one, or was that just on the Super Nintendo they got the blood in?
Yeah, it's Super Nintendo.
yeah.
You can see he's playing 1 and there was blood in it.
Yeah. Well,
That's
it.
why the Genesis one was better, right? Because it had the blood.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, John, thanks for doing that, mate.
Bye, guys.
See you later.
Later.
So that was so cool to walk around with John. I've been a long-time fan of John's Arcade. Honestly, guys, he's such a lovely guy. I was hanging out with him all weekend. Went out for a meal with him, had a beer with him. Well, actually, he wasn't drinking, but I was drinking quite a lot. Me and Daniel were at the bar down in some rum and cokes. It was just so cool to have him on my video. and such a lovely, lovely guy, and hopefully he's going to come for the UK reveal as well, but we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, I've got a lot to thank for John for doing that, recording and documenting the whole video. You've probably already seen it already, the reveal, but I'm going to have to include it onto my channel, of course, because it's my project, but you're more than welcome to skip it and get to the end of this video where I'm going to do all my pickups, all the games that I've got over in the US, and I've got a couple of little video clips of one of the retro game stores that I walk around, so be sure to watch that, guys. But here it is. This is the Sky Skipper reveal, guys. If you haven't seen it already, check this out.
All right, so this is going to be the reveal of Nintendo Sky Skipper. I know you guys have read about this, and someone asked me what I thought about this. What are you? I think this is going to be like Indiana Jones opening the Ark at the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark, only without the face melting and the dangerous lightning. So you guys are here to see that. I'm not going to talk anymore. I just wanted to say thank you all for coming to the show. Thank you all for coming to this panel. And I'm going to hand it over. We have a whole team of gaming glitterati here. So I'm going to hand it over to Billy Mitchell and Walter Day. They're going to talk a little bit about the history of Sky Skipper, and then we'll go on with our program. So here they are. You're up, Billy.
Then you should start. Then you go.
A long time ago, in Ottumwa, Iowa, we started the U.S. national video game team, which essentially now is recognized as history's first esports team. And we did something that really hadn't been done at that time. We did a major road trip at our own well, it's not completely at our own expense. We did have paid sponsors, but we got in a bus full of games. It was 53 feet long or something like that. And we started touring the nation, doing promotions different places.
And breaking down.
And breaking down like 7 times before finally it didn't survive the 7th breakdown, and we got in a brand new car and went 90 miles per hour with him driving for the rest of the trip. And so we went a lot of places. We went to Ohio, we went to Illinois, we went to Michigan, we went to Minneapolis, we went to Omaha, we went to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, Moscow, Idaho, Seattle, we went to all over California. But when we got to Seattle, we visited Nintendo. And Nintendo was a place, well, they were very dynamic, and they're full of a lot of activity and a lot of things going on. And inside their offices, they had an actual in-house arcade. And not only were there successful titles like Donkey Kong there and so forth and so on, they also had some of the things that just didn't make it to the next stage or the next stage or the next stage of development and being rolled out. And one of those games that we played there, that we probably have the most unique distinction, having been amongst the few people in history to ever seen Sky Skipper. They had one Sky Skipper, and Billy will remember better than I will. Were there only like 4 in existence, weren't there?
No, they had actually created 12, and they decided not to mass produce it. They actually shredded, for lack of a better term, shredded 11 of them, and the one in the break room was the only one that still existed. They don't have any sentimental value towards games. They do for money, but not games. We were there, we were actually kind of a nuisance. They knew me just a little bit, and they didn't know any of the other guys because they didn't care. Maybe they still don't. But the fact of the matter is, we played the game, and I had assumed at the time, I didn't know that 11 of them were shredded. Going to places like Sega or Nintendo, we often learn that the games they produce that they didn't put out, they used to donate to the military, and they'd be off on aircraft carriers and arcades, things like that. I assumed that's where they were. And I'm 100% confident that up until a few months ago, there's only one person, she knows who she is in this room, who even would know what Sky Skipper ever was. And so the fact of the matter is, I thought it was a game that I had just seen, and anytime I spoke of it, everybody just scratched their head and didn't remember anything. As a matter of fact, the guys who we traveled there with, who were there in the break room with us, I say, remember we played Sky Skipper? No. So, I mean, there was nobody even to speak to of it. But the fact is, yesterday, we talked about the games that we all played, the games that were our passion, and how now we embrace it because it's what we did, it's what we loved, and now people are beginning to embrace it more and more. And this is a different segment because this is something that should have otherwise just been lost to history, as this game since 1992 has been tucked away in a Nintendo warehouse and has never ever seen light of day.
So, essentially, we were there, we played Sky Skipper. Billy and I in particular remembered it for different reasons that will be unveiled as the days goes on and the game's revealed. But here's the most special thing I want to bring out of this experience from me and Billy. If you'll look around the room, you'll notice there's a lot of people here. We were worried there were going to be 5 or 4 or 3 people in the audience.
Especially so early.
Oh yeah. Now, to me, here's the reason why this phenomena is happening. The collective gamers, classic gamers and collectors and people who are now really becoming historians, a lot of you people have actually become what we could call technically historians, but it sort of snuck up on you without you realizing it, because you were just doing what was dear to your heart, what you love to do. You got out there and you started researching games, you started finding with your creativity and spending money out of your wallet, you begin to find pieces that you needed so that you could bring your own games back to life, do the research for those games, help redesign them or get them put back together. And you're essentially doing a lot of the fundamental acts that a person does who's a professional historian or a professional museum curator. And for the example of the guys who put together the Sky Skipper that we'll be seeing and discussing as the day goes on, they actually are literally like paleontologists or archaeologists, because like an archaeologist now, they will find certain aspects of like prehistory, and they'll study those analyze those, they'll write up things about them, and they'll generally turn them into like a museum presentation or even a paper that gets published in a scientific journal. So this is a video game collector's version excuse me, of scientists actually doing the research, making the discoveries, and now publishing for everybody to see. You guys are their scientific journal. This is their publication of their research and their findings in the history of arcade history. Finding something that otherwise was forgotten, bringing it back to life, putting it all together, and now here is what they have to present to you. And so I like the view, you guys, is that you know how in a lot of the different kinds of movies, there'll be some guy up there with a discovery, and there'll be all these guys out there wearing, be stuck those glasses and those funny goatees, and like a 1890s French, board of scientists or something. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if Billy has anything else to say, but
absolutely. So in 77, Death Race came out, and you actually got a car and you're running over little stick people. Yeah. And people enjoyed it, and it caused some municipalities to ban video games because of the violence and where it would lead. And so then what was so unique about this was we were there, it's 1983, and in caption, like a cartoon, he says, "Damn it, I'll escape." He actually says the word "damn it." Imagine that, cussing in a video game. Oh my God. And we were always wondering, why did they not release it? Was it not good enough? Was it because it was too violent with cuss words? When you see this, you're gonna see how absurd that is. But we never knew, and actually we don't still know yet with the research, the history as to why they didn't release it. But it was very fun and very unique. But what happened was, Mr. Whitney called me because he had a problem. Boy, you're under the bus now.
Always under the bus.
He had a problem. He had been working on this and putting it together with Alex for a long time, and he had just hit a roadblock. He says, I can't get anywhere with Nintendo. And he says they won't return my calls. And I says, no, it's worse than that. They won't even accept a message from you, will they? And he goes, no, they won't. They're like a very secret society. I can think of 2 people that have had success reaching Nintendo that before this. They're a very enclosed society. So I said, okay, I says, no, I think I know who to call and how to make things begin to roll forward. And we began to share all of our information. which is what really caused things to hit the gas pedal about 6 months ago. Mr. Whitney, we need you. What he did was, he actually acknowledged to me shortly before we started here. He said, Billy, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm terrified. So we'll see how he does, especially you.
All right, Alex, you want to go ahead and start it up?
Well, I just want to say thank you very much for inviting me over here. My first time in the United States, so a little bit nervous in front of all these Americans. But yeah, what a journey. I never thought in my wildest dreams that this little game would take me all the way to the good old United States. It's unbelievable. I found this game 2 years ago now, and I was actively searching for it because I'm a big Nintendo collector. I collect all of the early Nintendo games, especially the games that weren't programmed by Nintendo. There's a company called Ikegami that did all the coding for Nintendo in the early days, and my dream really was just to collect all of those type of games, right up to Donkey Kong. The first game that was actually coded by Nintendo was Donkey Kong Jr. So my aim was just to collect all of the ones pre-Donkey Kong Jr. I'd seen pictures of Sky Skipper, just flyers, black and white flyers and marquees, but I'd never actually ever seen a full-size upright cabinet. I didn't even know if it existed, or even if it was ever made. But then finally, I found a PCB, an actual board set, up in the north of England, marked Popeye. So Nintendo had actually factory modified it to play Popeye, because obviously they didn't want to get rid of the hardware. And I got my good friend Mark Whiting to re-engineer the board, which was a long process, took us about 3 months, but he finally nailed it. And we managed to get not one, but 2 working Sky Skipper boards, which is absolutely unbelievable.
Well, I tell you, getting the boards was the first major accomplishment, there's no doubt. It's a much longer road. Everything that came after that, I think, just added on and added on and added on. And there were many times where we didn't know if we were actually going to be able to finish this and even put it up here on stage for everybody to see. But I will say this, not speaking for Alex, but I know the sentiment's the same. We're humbled that so many people are here and have shown interest in this. And we thank everybody for making the time and coming to SFGE and seeing the labor of our love. And so real quick, I've got a couple people that I think we need to thank before we get into yanking the cover off this thing and showing. Do you think it's going to start? Do you think it's going to work?
Probably not.
Okay, all right. There's always a chance that I forgot something, but I'm going to hope that we didn't, okay? So it's a 50-50 shot. But real quick, is a couple of shout outs just real fast. I've got a couple people I want to thank. First and foremost, this gentleman right here. Does everybody know Richard Lynn? Yeah. This old game. Yes. So Alex and I went through the entire process of the artwork restoration with our third teammate, Ollie Cotton. And when it came time to determine who was going to make this cabinet look better than factory, we knew that there was only one person that we could get in touch with and reach out to, and that was Rich. And so Rich did a fantastic job, and I do want to say that everything that you all see here today, and what you see out on the game floor, and then what we do, what we show in our panel discussion this afternoon, I think that's at like 4:30, so we invite everybody to come to that because Alex and I are going to talk a lot more in depth about the project. We're going to show some of the preliminary artwork, talk about the PCBs, and even some plans that we've got coming up, okay, after this reveal, because there's a lot more that we've got kind of in store as well. But Rich, we want to thank you because I know that we brought you a load of work, and he took it with aplomb. And he said, guys, we'll get this done, and it was unbelievable, man. So Rich, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Took your time, but we got there.
Yeah, we got there. Perfect. You cannot rush perfection. That much I will say. And real quick, I do want to thank my good buddy Jonathan. Jonathan Wildson up here in the front row. Jonathan was a huge help to me. He came up. Yeah, stand up, Jonathan. Yeah, so when it came time to restore the cabinet and everything, Jonathan reached out to me and he said, hey, dude, I know what you want this to look like. Do you need a second set of hands? And I never claimed to be the brightest bulb in the bunch, and I said, but I knew that right then and there I needed the help. And I was like, Jonathan, come on, buddy. And we hammered on it, and I believe that the results definitely speak for themselves. So we didn't leave any stone unturned. I know that. So I mentioned Ollie. So you want to talk about Ollie for a second, real fast?
Yeah, Ollie's does a lot of the artwork in the UK.
Yeah.
And then he just seemed the best choice, really.
Yeah.
I know him as a good friend, so yeah, I've got to thank Ollie. Mark Whiting obviously did the engineering of the board. Steve, Atari Tubin, who supplied us with the flyer originally. We had something to go off.
Yeah.
And John Porch, who's helped us with what we're going to chat about in the panel discussion a bit later on.
Yeah, exactly. So as you can see, it was a whole group of people, and everybody contributed to the project. And I do want to say, last but certainly not least, the person that put up with me the most, two of them, be my wife, number one, and then my co-host Brent Griffith over here, number two. So I need to give a shout out and a hand to Brent, because he took it on the project as well, and he said, you know what, man? He goes, I know you're going to do this side thing, but go at it and knock it out. And so Brent, I thank you for that as well, man. So I guess, dude, without further ado, we're pretty much at the time, aren't we? All right. So I'm going to walk around this. Is everybody ready to see this? Just out of curiosity. All right. Now, there's a good chance that it's going to work, okay? There's a good chance that it's not going to work because, you know, it's 35-year-old technology. I will say this, though. We got the cue going? Maybe, hang tight for 1 second. Oh, he's doing the build-up. Okay, we'll get to the build-up in just a second, all right? One thing that I told Alex about is, I said, Alex, we cannot have anything fail on us on the trip down, or when we turn this thing on. It's got to be picture perfect. And he said, mate, what are you going to do to make it perfect like that? That's the best I could do, mate. I'm sorry.
That was poor. That was poor.
It's pretty bad, wasn't it? But anyway, so we went through, we rebuilt an extra monitor, we rebuilt an extra power supply. Alex brought his extra board set. The only thing that we did not duplicate was the cabinet itself, and I don't know that we would live through another one of those, okay? So we should be good. We got all the fail-safes in play. So are you ready to do it, man? All right, everybody, let's give us a big 3, 2, 1. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Sky Skipper! Means a lot, buddy. Thank you very much. All right, ho, ho, everybody. John Jacobson said, turn it on! All right, okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to turn this thing on. Are you ready? Okay, I'm back here messing with the plug. I forgot to plug it up. No, I'm sorry. I'm getting mad. I'm going to turn it on. Hey, Alex, one thing I forgot to do was restore the power switch. My bad. All right, ready? Go! And we have contact. Woo! It lives. Excellent. Alex, I think you need to do the honors. All right, I'm going to hold the mic. Yeah, I'm going to hold the mic right down here. Yeah, so for everybody who can't see, Alex is rolling through the game. This, and just as a quick aside, this game is available in MAME for anybody who does want to go out and give it a shot and take a look at it. So Alex is playing through, and fortunately the board has not taken a dive on us yet, so it looks like we're good. All right, excellent, Alex, excellent. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Hey,
Thanks, John.
Alex, I think you scored what, 4,400? So I think you set a new world record right there, didn't you? World record on Sky Skipper right here at SFGE. How about it? All right, does anybody have any questions out in the crowd? I mean, okay, so yeah, the basis for the game. Alex, why don't you explain? Yeah, you know what? Very good question. Yeah, very good question. Alex, real quick, just for anybody who doesn't know
it's a
about
very
the game.
early multi-directional sort of shooter, really. You control this little plane with a little character which is Mr. U. You've got speed, and you've got a fire button here, and you've got to rescue or pick up all of the playing cards, which Nintendo used to produce quite a lot of back in the day. So it's got kind of a little bit of Nintendo history there with the playing cards. And if you get a flush, a royal flush, you get a bonus. So basically, you just scroll around the environment here, picking up all the little cards and trying to avoid the gorillas, because they're trying to shoot you with their baseball bats and balls. You can knock them down with the fire button, and you can actually pass through them once they're knocked down. It's a really cool game. There's about 4 levels to this game, and then it just loops, it goes back to the beginning again, just gets a lot harder. So there's a lot of replay value in this game, and a nice risk-reward element with the fuel as well. You've got a fuel gauge at the top, so if you're trying to rack up the points and point press, you'll notice your fuel gauge is going to go down really quickly. So you can actually land and refuel if you want to. So there's quite a lot to the game.
Yeah. I'm just curious, as a show of hands, has anybody played Sky Skipper and MAME? I mean, do a lot of people know about the game ahead of time? There you go. All right, cool. So we've got some who have, some who haven't. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. So this is the result of I guess what, Alex, roughly somewhere between 1.5 years and 2 years worth of work on our part.
Yeah.
Together, working across the U.S. and the U.K., a little bit in Japan.
Yeah.
And pulling together resources, as Billy mentioned and Walter mentioned, from Nintendo of America.
Yeah.
And there's one thing I think that we should say for everybody wondering, you know, we were able to partner with Nintendo on this project, and we do need to give them a very special thank you, because without their help and their collaboration, then this game would never have come back out of the archives and be standing here today.
Yeah.
So
it's a real shame that
Nintendo, thank you.
It's a shame that it wasn't a success. I was thinking it's just bad timing, because the video game industry was moving so quickly, and kids wanted new games all the time, shoot 'em up games. I think people just fell out of love with this type of
I would agree. I mean, when you look at the gameplay, it's actually a finished game, and it's a very fun game. I would even argue that it's better than Popeye, and probably should have been released instead of Popeye. But just personally speaking, that's my opinion, but that's all that matters. But when you play it, there's a depth to it, there's a good strategy, a good risk-reward system, as you mentioned, and it just feels so much varied and much more entertaining, I guess, than Popeye is. And but anyway, Nintendo chose not to release this. They did release Popeye in its place, and so Sky Skipper was, until today, was relegated essentially to the lost history of Nintendo. Yeah. So anybody have any questions out in the crowd? Yeah. We've got one back here. Yes, sir. What's that? Oh, is the marquee made of glass? No. The marquee is plexi, just as all the other Nintendo upright arcade marquees were of the day. Donkey Kong Jr., Popeye, all those marquees are plexi. This is plexi as well. What's that? We did not. How did we restore it? Well, that's a long answer to a short question. Ultimately, we were granted access to the prototype cabinet at Nintendo. They allowed us to come in and scan that cabinet. And then working with Alex and I, working with our third teammate Ollie, and then working here with Rich, we the group of us reproduced all of the artwork and then restored the cabinet. So this isn't original artwork, but it is very faithful, very accurate to the prototype that was at Nintendo. So we used the flyer, we used the advertising, some magazine advertisements to verify what we saw. But ultimately, this is essentially a copy of what is at Nintendo. Yeah. Yes.
And it's running original hardware, of course.
Yes, and it is running the original hardware. Yes, sir.
Do you guys know where it would have fallen in line with like when it was made? And does that have
Just before Popeye.
And does that have anything to do with why it's got 1 point slot?
So the question was, do we have a good idea of where it falls in the timeline, when it was made, and why? And is that a good indicator of it having only 1 coin slot? So you take the first one on that, Alex.
Well, on the flyer, on the Japanese flyer, it had a single slot coin mech.
Yeah.
But the one that you saw at NRA had 2, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
But it was an urn testing mule.
Yeah.
And I don't, based on what I saw, they were using the 2 coin slots, one to accept a quarter, and then one for them to expose the service switch in case, or credit switch in case they needed it.
Yeah.
And I think they did that. A lot of the reason why they did that is so that they could have it on free play inside the cafeteria at NOA. But time-wise, Chris, this was to have been right before Popeye, and we don't know if Popeye would have still came after Skyskipper. We feel that it would have, or Popeye may never have made it if Skyskipper had actually been introduced. But it's within that Donkey Kong Jr. to Popeye time frame is when it was done. But yeah, all the literature shows this as a single coin mech door. So there it is. Yeah. So Billy, Walter, excellent. You guys are back. All right. So I think this is a good time. Yeah, yes, I am. I think this is a good time to see Billy Mitchell post the world record on Skyskipper. You set the bar for him, Alex.
Yeah.
You set the bar. Does everybody want to see Billy Mitchell set a world record? Yeah! All right. 4,400 points, sir.
This is a little easier than it sounds, even though I have to let him have his glory. When Fix-It Felix came out, Disney sent one cabinet to a particular location in Miami, and one to Seattle. Some guy that plays Donkey Kong in Seattle, you guys might rumors about. And so they wanted us to have a playoff, so I said okay. And I guess I was supposed to do it because it makes me feel warm and fuzzy, but I said no, I get to keep the machine, so they agreed. What was good was we played, and it might be hard to understand, but I won, right? What we played, I played it to the end, I had the world record, and I never played it since. So I like that. I'll get the world record, I don't have to play it again. Somebody else can have the glory. So that's what makes this fun. I like when people say, Pac-Man, do you still have the record? It was a perfect score. I don't ever have to play again. So I like moments like this.
Yeah, we got you.
I have no idea, none.
Into the new challenger. Come on, Billy.
I'm never in the
Huh?
Would you give me a little advice here?
All right. Well, I put the dip switches up to hard. You do know that, don't you?
You got it?
So you've got to bomb the gorillas there, Billy. Pick up the cards. See, the cards got different. Got the hearts there. You've got the jacks. If you pick them up all in a line, all together, you'll get a bonus. So he's doing well. I'm going to come down a bit. See, there's loads of cards down the bottom.
Yeah, you want me to go down with where they're gonna bomb me?
Oh, you are rusty, aren't you? Your fuel's running out, mate. That's it, you're dead. That's it, game over. Is that it? Is that the best you got? What's your style? You got to fight him without fighting?
So thank you for staying here. So essentially, as you know, we have developed a set of trading cards that commemorate the history, the culture, and the community of our times, focusing on this amazing legacy of gaming. So this is quite a remarkable thing that these two gentlemen have gone and pulled together all this information that no one had ever researched before, and actually brought it to the point that we have an actual working Skyskipper here on the stage with us today. So we made a trading card to commemorate this project. It's one of two in the world, okay? Alrighty? So we have a trading card here. We're going to officially unveil right now. And I'm going to get down there and make sure everybody gets a copy of the card. But it's essentially the Skyskipper project card. And the text was written by the two gentlemen so that we have all the stuff accurate. So you get to see the historical trajectory of this project. And there's nothing really further to say other than you have to give them once you give them a standing ovation. Because, give them. Thank you. And interestingly enough, I personally consider this the model of how future research projects have been conducted in our video game and pinball realm, because you guys were like scientists, you were like historians, you used a lot of the same, tactics and techniques that professional archaeologists and paleontologists would use, and here is the finished product, so congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, Walter. Appreciate that.
I've been picking on them since it would appear that they're almost at the end of the road for what they need to do. They do need to show it off at another show in London. But what other game has virtually lost to history that only a handful of people know about? And what will that next project be? So that's putting them on the spot here. Maybe if anybody has anything they know that's that unique, that rare, just go ahead and shout it out at them. Especially you. I know you know a number of games.
And give us another 2 years worth of work. We definitely need it. So yeah. So everybody, like we said, we'll be doing a panel discussion at 4:30 this afternoon. Alex and I'll be getting into the insides of the project. We'll talk about going into NOA. We'll show some of the pictures of the original cabinet that we used as the restoration guide for this cabinet. We'll talk about the PCB restoration and the re-engineering on that, and then talk about a bit of our future plans. And I do want to say that we got some pretty cool stuff. I'll save it for this afternoon, but we've definitely got a good long road ahead for Skyscraper, and we think we've got some stuff that everybody will be very excited about. So if there's any people that are looking forward to eventually playing Skyscraper one day, then yeah, come talk to us. All right. Yes, oh yeah, thanks Jonathan. So yeah, at the conclusion of this, then we're going to put it out on the floor. It will be available for free play for the rest of the day this afternoon. And it will be available for free play through the close of the show tomorrow as well, all right? And then the next stop for us is we're headed over to the UK at Play Expo Manchester. And Alex and I are going to unveil Skyscraper in the UK for the second.
Anybody who shows up there, you let them play it free too, right?
Heck yeah, man. Yeah, come on. So we would love to have everybody here, and we appreciate anybody that would make the trip, show the support or anything like that. But it's definitely a global project, and we want to make sure that we get it out to as many people as we can.
Well, that's it, guys. What did you think? You could see I was extremely nervous on that stage, being around all those big people and all those Americans. I actually went blank a few times. I really didn't know what to say, but I just let the other guys run with it. I think I got away with it in the end. But guys, honestly, I had the time of my life. It was absolutely brilliant. I never thought in my wildest dreams it would turn out like it did. I mean, but as John said, we nailed it. We really, really did. Something I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. It was just fantastic. So what can I say? I've got to thank some people. I've got to thank the guys at SFGE, Patrick and Preston, for welcoming me into their arms and putting Skyscraper on the pedestal like it needed and giving us the space when we needed it to do photography and filming. It was just absolutely brilliant, guys. Thank you very much. Got to thank, obviously, Whitney, Jackie and Grace for putting up with me in their family home. I had a time of my life, guys. You made it so special. I really did enjoy our evenings out, our meals, and the time with your dogs. I fell in love with your dogs. I really missed them already. So guys, thank you so much. And when you come to the UK, I'm going to make it equally as special for you too, and you know, show you around London. You're really going to enjoy it. Got to thank John again as well for documenting the whole video. Without John there, you know, I mean, my video is okay, but you got to agree John's is better. So if you haven't seen it, nip over to John's Arcade. Again, I'll put a link in the video below. Brilliant guy, and he will be at Manchester Replay, which is going to be awesome. So all you guys can get to meet him. He's a fantastic guy. Got to say hi to John Davis, who, you know, I was really thirsty for you to give me a few drinks, kept me going. John, thank you very much, mate. Lovely to meet you at last. I've also got to thank Mike from Mike's Arcade. Lovely guy. Really enjoyed meeting you. Also, I've got to say a massive thank you to Daniel Copeland, who's been following my channel for a long time. Lovely to meet you, mate, and he blew me away, gave me something really special. I wasn't expecting this, Daniel. You know, what can I say, mate? It is the Donkey Kong Jr. Remix daughter board, which is, guys, if you don't know, this goes on a Donkey Kong Jr. PCB and it mixes the whole game up, gives it a completely different depth and gameplay. And because Donkey Kong Jr. is one of my favourite games, I'm going to absolutely love this. So Daniel, thanks a bunch, mate. I will be doing a video on this, obviously not in this video, it'd be too long, but what a gift. Daniel, thank you so much, mate. I really appreciate that. Top bloke. Also got to thank CaptNRetro. I bought a few SNES games off him. Actually bought quite a lot of SNES games off him, a whole stack. But I'm not going to go into all of those yet. I'm going to save them for a SNES video. But I bought one really special SNES game off him. And then just as I was about to leave, he gave me, where is it? I can't find it. Where is it? Here it is. Double Dragon. So CaptNRetro, thanks so much, mate. You're a top bloke. Go and check his YouTube channel out. It's in the link below, okay? Top bloke. Nice to meet you, mate. Really, really did have to do that. So at the end of the reveal, I've got to show you now what I got. So Walter Day presented us with some trading cards. Now, guys, if you don't know what they are, he gives these out to people that have done something for the community. They don't have to be world records, but mainly they are people that have got world records. He gives out these special cards to, or done something special in the community like the Sky Skipper project, or supplied cabinets to events, that sort of thing. So we've got these very special cards made up. So I got my own personal one. It says my name on there. And it's Superstar of 2017, and I am card number 2721. Okay, and then on the back it's just got a little bit of a story of my background, which is cool. Now I'll be getting, well, I've got loads of these coming over from America, and if anyone wants them, I can give them out to you at Replay Manchester, or I can send them off to you if you want. Also got a Sky Skipper one, which is probably the one you're more interested in. So it's got the Sky Skipper side art on there, and a bit about the project on the back, which is really nice. Now, a lot of people collect these. They're quite collectible, being around 2000, and some of them go for a bit of money, especially if they're signed. And I've got a signed one by Walter Day, which is cool, and it says, "To my good friend Alex, Walter Day." So that's going to get framed. Well, they're all going to get framed and go up on my wall with the certificate that I got from Walter Day, which is here. Now this is something really special. I'm going to get this framed and it's going to go up on my wall. So it's the Trading Card Awards certificate from the Southern Fried Gaming Expo, Superstars of 2017, and it's signed there by Walter Day, Billy Mitchell, and Joe, God, I can't remember his second name there, but he basically is a world record holder of lots of games, but I'm not quite familiar with the guy, but I did meet him there and he's a top bloke. So it's nice to get all four of them to sign the certificate, and by Preston there as well, who runs the Southern Fried Gaming Expo. So yeah, it's a nice little quote there from Walter Day about me. Alexis Crowley for his long-time support of the classic arcade culture and for conducting the diligent and creative research that brought the long-lost Sky Skipper arcade game back to life. We humbly present this trading card to him in recognition of his tremendous contributions to the global gaming culture, which is really, really cool. So that's going to get signed and go up on my wall, which is really nice for you to come back with. I really do. I'm blown away, guys, by it all. To be honest with you, I never thought it was going to be this big. It's incredible. Also got a Sky Skipper hot sauce from Billy Mitchell. Now I've only got 2 of these guys and probably won't be getting that many more, so I don't know what I'm going to be doing with these, but obviously I'm going to keep these 2. But it's really cool. It's got Billy Mitchell on there. Look, he does all his own sauce, if you didn't know, and he does these for special occasions, so that's a nice memento as well. Sky Skipper Billy Mitchell hot sauce. I'll be putting that on my chips tomorrow night. What else did I get? Also, I've already got a piece of the art package for my skipper, Sky Skipper. I've got to start getting my cabinet ready now, so I've got a hell of a lot of work to do. But I've already been given my serial plaque that goes on the back of the cabinet, which is really cool. So yeah, thanks Rich for that. Rich did a fantastic job. In fact, I've got to say thanks to Rich. I haven't done that. So Rich from This Old Game did all the artwork package, and mine's yet to come over. Top bloke, really, really nice guy. So thanks Rich for getting that all done, really appreciate it. What else is there? God, well, should we go through all the games? I've got loads of games here. Now the first lot, because I did go around all the retro stores, was Millipede. This was what, $6? Cheap as chips, guys. Got to have a bit of Millipede on the NES. Bionic Commando, classic game. Again, what, $9? Got to have it, haven't you? Got to have it. Strider, lovely Capcom game. Again, $9. Thought that was well worth it. An RC Pro-Am, which I haven't got. Okay. Now, I'm really only collecting loose NES, but the odd game that I really do like, I do get boxed. So I've got 2 games that I've wanted in my collection box for a long time, which go for quite a lot of money over here, which is Super Mario 2, and it's absolutely mint. Look at that, guys. Wanted this game for ages. So really chuffed to get that. I've never played this version either. I've never played this game, so I'm looking forward to that. Also got a lovely boxed Gradius, one of my favourite games on the NES, or on any system. Fantastic. Mint again, in fantastic condition. Just got to get that label off, the old label remover. And I've got an unusual DS game, just took a shot at this one. I mean, I've never heard of it. It's called Devilish, but typical me, I'm going on, I'm judging the book by its cover. It looks like a really cool vertical shooter. Now, I may be wrong, but it does look cool. And it wasn't that much. I don't think I paid much for this at all, so just took a gamble on it. You know I do like my DS games. Got a loose copy of Pilot Wings. Now I do have Pilot Wings already, but it's sealed, and I do like playing Pilot Wings, so I've just thought, and it was cheap, so I picked this up, which is cool. And that's pretty much about it, guys, all my pickups. Again, I've got a stack of SNES games here, which I brought back from the United States, which I will be doing in my SNES video. I don't want to show you too much, but there's some cool ones in there. Games I've wanted for a long time. And also, when I got back, this was in the post. Wii U Darksiders, the War Masters edition. Probably my last Wii U game I'll ever buy. But I did enjoy the first one, so I'm looking forward to playing this on the Wii U, guys. I don't know if you played it, but it's pretty cool. So that is it. That is all my pickups. What a video. What an event. That's it. Once in a lifetime. Never happen again. So I hope you enjoyed it, guys. I will be getting a SNES video up very quickly. Next week, next Friday, my next video. And then following that, we'll do a Donkey Kong Jr. remix video. And check out the gameplay of some other stuff that I've got. Thank you for all the support from everyone on the channel, on the forums, on my Facebook. You've been absolutely brilliant. Really appreciate it, guys. See you on the next video. Take care.